What is the all-time greatest driving song? Came to say, can someone pretty please make a playlist on Spotify of these songs and share it with us here? I would be eternally grateful. M83, Midnight City. Just makes me think of driving through a big city for the first time and it's kinda rainy and I'm just looking out the backseat windows at all the lights and appreciating the vibe. It's a strong memory for me apparently, lol. I ran, so far away, by a flock of seagulls. Or maybe Firewoman by the Cult. Don't Fear the Reaper is a good one. Highway Star. Eastbound and Down, Smokey and the Bandit. Radar Love. Golden Earring. Danger Zone. I find the instrumental of Baker Street extremely relaxing while driving, mainly if it's sunset time. She Sells Sanctuary. The Cult. The Cult has a lot of good driving songs. Gas Gas Gas, Manuel. Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. For me, it's Barracuda by Heart. ZZ Top, Log Range. Burnin' for You, Blue Oyster Cult. What's the biggest mistake you've made because you were horny? 1996. My GF and I, both 21 years old, we didn't live together. I lived with my grandparents, she lived with her strict Catholic parents. It was impossible to have sex at her house, and not that easy at mine. We were both horny and I came up with a plan. I had a job driving a box van delivering wheelchairs, hospital beds, medicine etc. I was allowed to take my box van home every night / over the weekends I had off. So I had my younger brother help me disassemble my futon and pass it to me through our bedroom window. I set the futon up in the back of the box van, put a CD player back there, some incense and candles and whatnot. Tried to make it kinda idk. Not like the back of a box van, I guess. Drove over to pick her up one evening around 8 p.m. We told her parents we were going to the grocery store real quick and we'd be back soon. I drove out to some fig orchards instead. I decided to drive the box van down between the rows of fig trees and get deep back in the orchard so nobody would see the large box van from the road. As we were getting further back down one of those rows, it started to get muddy. Me having no experience driving in mud, I thought you just gunned it and kept on gunning it till you got through the mud. Yes, so that didn't work, it just got worse and worse. Eventually we careen off between two trees about 70 feet off the road. We're dead stuck in the mud. I get out, shin deep in mud. She gets out to help me, we're both muddy as fuck. There's no getting this box van out. We hike out of this orchard into the nearest neighborhood. No cell phones in these days, we begin knocking on doors of the houses in the neighborhood asking people if we can use their phone. Nobody wanted to answer the door, I guess they were in fear of a home invasion idk. It took quite a bit of knocking and walking to find some youngsters in front of their parents' house who let us use their phone. I called a tow truck and it took a very long time for it to come out. Upon arriving, the driver told me he'd have to put straps on the fig trees to anchor to, and if he broke any trees I'd have to pay the farmer thousands of dollars probably. Fortunately no trees broke, he was able to finally get my box van unstuck and out of the field at around 11 p.m. or so. It costed me $440 which I didn't have on me and I had to call my uncle to borrow it from till I got paid. The whole damn thing was such a mess. I got her home close to midnight and had exactly 0 sex that day. She never even saw the futon or had any idea what we were doing until I told her my failed plans as I was driving her home. That girl stuck it out with me, dumb decisions and all. We were married for 14 years, our children are 23 years old now. We divorced in 2013 but she's still like my best friend, so it's a fairly happy ending kinda story. What a classy guy, right? What woman wants to bang in the back of a box van? LOL. Horniness makes ya do some dumb ass shit. Deleted. I browsed porn and then I asked my mom how to delete the history. Lost my entire tax refund and got my phone stolen at a strip club in San Diego. Having a wank but forgetting to shut the curtains. Nosy neighbors. Around the age of 12 I had sex with my wall. There wasn't a hole or anything, I was just rubbing my boner against the wall and making out with it. I've been stupidly horny my whole life, it's kind of annoying. Deleted. Let my ex-boyfriend dry hump me for an hour on a bench outside after summer school. The bad news, this bench behind our school was also beside a swimming pool, where parents were taking their children for swim lessons. Eventually a staff member came out and yelled at us for being inappropriate. I still have shame flashbacks today, over 10 years later. Hooked up with a girl at a party. Didn't even think she was all that attractive, just kind of bored, drunk, and horny. Having to go to the doctor for a case of crabs was my reward for poor self-control. I was hospitalized for a week being on isolation. I was mostly fine. Got too horny and wanked a few off. 1 year later, I got a job at the place. Turns out the room I was in had a camera. This happened a couple of months ago. I was horny. I went to masturbate in the bathroom cause I was staying in a hostel. I was having a good time, then I heard a glass window breaking and me looking down to see fucking blood pumping out of my fucking dick like I opened a water tap. Turns out, some dumb fucks were playing cricket and hit the ball straight onto the glass window and broke it. The glass shard fell right on my erect penis. Thankfully the bleeding stopped a few minutes after I lost my erection. Had to run to the emergency clinic. Thankfully I didn't lose my dick. Swimming down the Craigslist wormhole of desperation and depravity. Beat off in a doctor's office not realizing they could see from the other room. I was 12. I had a seizure and instead of calling a doctor afterwards I convinced my GF that I was fine and we had sex. Was trying to get with a girl in college. We were texting and I asked her what she was up to. She said she was training for a marathon and going to the gym and asked if I wanted to come. I ended up running 9 miles before I tagged out. So now I know how far I'd go to get laid, it's up to 9 miles. God just released Sex 2.0, what are the patch notes? Fixed desync error between mental and physical arousal states. Edit, thanks for the awards y'all. A fertility off switch, a safe mode, if you'd like. Libido matching. Fixed a bug where occasionally condoms wouldn't work as intended. The area to touch are highlighted. 0 recharge time for everyone. A toggle for pregnancy/non-pregnancy. I hate that they've officially added microtransactions, but I guess that was a carryover from the legacy version. People come with visible orgasm meters. Let you know how close they are. Quest marker for G-spot. Dick now makes a noise when it comes. You can choose the noise by uploading a 10-second max MP3 file to your dick through Bluetooth. It's an overhyped bug patch. It's 18% less measy, takes 12% less time, and fixes 20% of the performance bugs. That's not nothing. But it's not 2.0. Installed rape countermeasures. Multiplayer mode has been added. A new update for sex has been released, please read the full patch notes below. Permanent STDs have been removed, now they are temporary debuffs and require medical prescriptions to cure, or a specific time allotment. Male reproductive organs have received major backend changes, including not limited to, upgraded skill trees, less dependencies on genetics, more ways to gain experience, etc. Female reproductive organs have received a rework in order to prevent unwanted sex, now they conceal themselves as a protective measure. Furthermore, the child-making process has been revised to include a tutorial at time of birth. Attraction to animals has been officially removed from sex. Any further implementations are third-party mods that can be loaded using the Sex mod client. Attraction to anime characters has been officially removed from sex. Any further implementations are third-party mods that can be loaded using the Sex mod client. Toys and paraphernalia have received a buff and have updated skill trees. Added support for VR. Added controller support. Bug fixes, including erectile dysfunction and other disorders. Updated localization files. Edit. As per community request, a hotfix has been released for Sex 2.0. Please read the full details below. Males now have received the same rework as females to prevent unwanted sex. Attraction to kids, in any way, has been officially removed from sex. There will be no support in the Sex mod client. UTIs for both genders have been removed. We as a development team viewed them as unnecessary and conflicting to the flow of gameplay. A Suggestions tab has been placed within the client launcher for additional suggestions or bug reports. Additional bug fixes and optimization improvements. Updated the localization files to reflect changes.